All right, y'all ready? Where Facebook at? Now we got Councilwoman Erika Jackson in the house today. I mean, oh my bad. Erika Green in the house today, y'all. I'm glad we wasn't on air. I'm glad we wasn't on air.
That's her husband's name.
You're gonna meet a Jackson, Erika.
Yeah. She will be Mrs. Jackson.
We got one of the man's assistant chiefs in the building, Mr. Rowdy, Gaudet. He's here. I just said whole Jackson. See, I was talking just before I got over here to Erika Jackson. Councilwoman Chauna Banks Daniels in the building, y'all. All right,
and I don't have a Daniel.
Boy, you're so crazy. All right, y'all. We're going. Mike's going hot. All right, WTQT family. This is Eugene Collins here with a special segment, and today we'll be talking about that new MoveBR tax. They're talking about improving your roads out here. This is Mayor Broom's MoveBR plan, and there's some folks here today. I'm talking about some real experts. If you want to know about this tax, these are the folks you want to ask. We have the illustrious Councilwoman Erika Green, not Jackson, y'all. Erika Green. That's right. We have one of the assistant chiefs from the mayor's office here today, Mr. Rowdy Gaudet, one of the coolest brothers at City Hall, right? And we also have the what can you say about Chauna that has not been said? Councilwoman Chauna Banks.
Great way to introduce her.
So jumping right in, and Rowdy, I'm gonna start with you, man. I'm gonna start with you. I know we do ladies first, but it's one of you here, so we're gonna get started with you first. Tell the folks what this tax is about, and before you do that, if you have any questions, you want to chime in, you don't really understand this tax, give us a call down here at 225-343-1075. Again, that number is 225-343-1075. Mr. Rowdy, tell us a little bit about this tax.
Thank you, Eugene. First off, thank you for having myself and the council members. Really appreciate the time. And it's very important. I mean, this is coming to a vote on December 8th. The voters in East Baton Rouge Parish are being asked to go out and make an informed decision. So the opportunity to come here, provide the information, we're very grateful for that. You know, the MoveBR plan is a $1 billion road and transportation infrastructure plan. It is a traffic mitigation plan. We want to address the traffic issues in East Baton Rouge Parish. So, you know, throughout the course of the show, I can talk a lot about the projects that are involved. We're talking about road expansions, but the reality, Eugene, we're talking about quality of life in East Baton Rouge Parish. We need to get traffic moving, and this is the plan to do that. It's a very data-driven plan. The information we compiled comes from studies, comes from different organizations that look at traffic and the impact of traffic, and we've put that all into this plan, which is about 60 different projects that affect the entire parish. We're very grateful that we got the broad support from our Metro Council, these two members included. We've been going around the community. We've done over 50 public meetings related to this plan. And I will be honest, I get a whole lot of people saying, yes, this is the time. We need to address our infrastructure now. Our community is growing. That's a very positive thing. We need to make sure our infrastructure keeps up. So this is the plan. We're proud to come and present it.
Rowdy, you said a lot there, and I pulled some numbers from there. You started talking about numbers, and this is a number I wanna mention. And Chauna, I'm gonna shoot this one to you. It says that this plan will create 3,000 new jobs. What does 3,000 new jobs mean for Baton Rouge?
Certainly, you know, when we talk about jobs, that in itself means that the quality of life of some of our residents will get better. I mean, all of us thrive as a result of a paycheck. It means that some people will either buy a car, buy a grocery, get married, put children through school. Anytime we talk about making the lives better of our residents wherever they live, the example that is set has to be seeing our neighbors and our families go to work each day. It's the great equalizer as it relates to what it means to be a community. And more and more, it's just important that those skill sets, I work in the school system, and being able to let students know that there are jobs coming in the area so that they can be directed to certain skill set. All of that helps. So, you know, we're talking about jobs, but because of the field that I'm in, I'm also talking about the possibility of making sure that students who right now don't know what's out there or know this is important and these are what you need to take and the kind of skill sets you'll need to get these jobs. So for me, I see it as a win-win.
And that's powerful, you know, and you mentioned community there, and I was reading some stuff up on this tax when I was studying for the show today, and I saw that sidewalks were a part of this plan, and coming to you, Councilwoman, Green, not Jackson. Sorry, Ms. Jackson.
That's right.
Yeah. I know this gospel radio, y'all got to excuse me. But I saw sidewalks as a part of this plan. And folks leave out sometimes how important sidewalks are to a community, you know. And I saw what the AARP had actually cited about these sidewalks and what it could do for an infrastructure and community, how it just helps build community, not only wealth, but just the community sense of self, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when you think about, you know, Miss Bertha Ann on Lorraine Street, I'm trying to think about a street in the district, and she's finally going to have that crack out of a sidewalk, and the kids are going to have sidewalks to ride their bikes on. Like, what does that mean for the residents of your district?
So when I first came in office, I did a tour. I did a tour with the STAT committee, and connectivity was a big issue. And one of the things that we found in District 5 was that we had a lot of ditches. We had a lot of issues when it came to connectivity. We had people that wanted to use public transportation but didn't have actual stops with sidewalks and concrete. And so enhancement projects like a sidewalk improvement, it creates connectivity for a neighborhood. We can't even get to the district, but neighborhoods that have ditches, those type of improvements help not only connect the kids to the school, but it also will help us as we're trying to figure out ways to connect the parents to more healthy options, right? And so when you brought up ARP, that was one of the things that they were mentioning, but still, this is much bigger. So when we think about at the beginning 2 years ago when I did a tour, and that was a major issue, drainage and ditches and sidewalks, and when the plan came before us at that time, people didn't see that. I think Rowdy can attest that we looked at all of that now. Not we, but they looked at all of that. And even those small enhancements help with traffic and congestion. And so I'm happy because one of the streets that's being worked on is Mickens Road. Everybody in District 5 knows that you will sit on Mickens. You can't possibly get around. It's a two-way highway. We need some more space. They've been working on Mickens already, but this gives us an opportunity to address some of the congestion on that street as well.
Now, you know this gospel radio, right? So you know the black church, Rowdy. I don't know if you know about this, but we like to do what we call call and response, right? So if y'all agree with me, y'all just say amen. Now, this sister just talked about those sidewalks connecting communities. That sounds like crime reduction, right?
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Gospel radio.
Yes.
Right? My man right here talked about those numbers and developing those 3,000 jobs and all that stuff. That sounds like crime reduction, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
Amen. See, Rowdy, you got to go with some more gospel. And Chauna talked about building infrastructure. We just had a flood, right, Chauna?
Right.
Yeah.
We need to look at those things, and I know there's going to be some opposition that comes down against this, and I just don't understand it. Because just like you said, I'm tired of sitting in traffic on Mickens.
Right.
I be on Mickens all the time. I'll be over there in that way, you know what I'm saying? So we want to get these better roads, and these are some things that they're going to do as a part of this tax is reduce traffic, improve EMS response times, you know? Got to do that. Create 3,000 jobs, expand roads and additional lane capacity. What Councilwoman Green was just talking about with expanding Mickens Road, making some of these routes a little bit faster, right? That means some of y'all gonna get to work on time. Right? Some of y'all.
Let's hope.
Operate on a different schedule.
Yeah.
But some of y'all gonna get to work on
Eugene,
time.
when you said get to work on time, part of this plan talks about that 15-minute reduction in time. Rowdy, can you explain? That was one thing that helped me.
Yeah, so part of the analysis we did when we were taking a look at how is the plan and the projects under this plan really going to impact folks in their daily commute. So we put points on Cortana Mall, we put a point on downtown on the River Center, and one at Perkins Row, and said, okay, Right now, you know, it takes folks 15 minutes within a certain geographic area to get from where they are to downtown. Under this plan, because we're moving traffic, because we're getting folks moving around the parish more, we actually expand those, sometimes even double the size of the population that could make it from their point in East Baton Rouge down to downtown or to the Cortana Mall. With Cortana specifically, the reason why that's so critical, number one, it's the center of the parish, so it's very easy to see visually how it brings in more folks, expands their ability to get there. But when you talk about redevelopment within that area, which is really important, we talk about Cortana a lot. There's many uses for that facility. We want to keep it to be a thriving place. You talk about incorporating more access for people to get to it, or some company can locate there and they've got access to get to the interstate, to surface roads to get out. They're going to find that to be a really attractive facility, and they're going to come, and we talk about jobs yet again. They're going to come and bring more jobs to that area. So it all goes hand in hand with our quality of life.
Yeah, improving quality of life through improving infrastructure.
There you go.
If I may interject, you know, we talk a lot about the northern part of the parish. The northern part of the parish, and one of the things Rowdy mentioned is about not only the sidewalks but also economic development, and certainly that is a portion that is really, really very important. And anyone that deals with economic development, that with planning, they tell you that the basis of that is infrastructure. And so in this project, and though they have 67 projects, in those projects, I'm happy that in my district, they chose the projects that are on here will spur that in my development. When you talk about Harding Boulevard, that's a major corridor that ends at the bluff. But anybody who's on Harding Boulevard at 5 p.m. and Plank Road at 5 p.m., it's a parking lot. They can go ahead and go from car to car and serve breakfast, lunch, and so to know that that corridor, which also is already on people's mind, it's already well traveled. You can get from Zachary, when people leave Central and Zachary and Baker, that's the corridor that leads to the interstate. So to know that Harding Boulevard is on here, to know that the Harding Boulevard part from Howell Place to Plank Road, where businesses have already made an investment but have no sidewalks. To know that finally from from Howell Place to Plank Road, those businesses will have sidewalks. To know that Elm Grove Garden Drive, like Erika was talking about, in the older communities, we had ditches. And to know that those ditches are going to be filled on Elm Grove, which has 3 elementary schools, that have churches, that is all from the George A. Newman Community Center. Elm Grove, because of this project, Elm Grove Garden Apartments that already have people who are interested in purchasing it and redeveloping it. So it's going to bring homes, it's going to bring businesses, all leading to the quality of life assets that we need. And I won't leave out, I would be remiss if I don't leave out Groom Road. For my community in Baker, Groom suffered tremendously during the flood. You know, all the houses are ready, but that also is an economic venue, corridor, where people still are investing. Churches are there, businesses are there, homes are there. So, and Pete Heine, he probably is doing flips. He makes his 90th birthday on December 3rd, and I've been on the council 6 years, and he's been asking for this help for 6 years. So these are projects that have been on our hearts for many, many years, and we've been left out, to tell you the truth. And so when I see 6 possible projects, it's not quantity for me, it's quality, because these are all the perfect projects to spur economic development. So when people come in, they're going to add sidewalks to the subdivision. They're going to add sidewalks to the business, and that will help the city as well. And I'm going to let my colleague talk about Ford Street. I mean, they're going to bring that over, and how this Plank Road will help with the Ford Street and Howell Place and all.
A while back, Ford Street, as everybody knows, was expanded, right? And it became just a really good place to travel. It looks nice. It created movement. And so with this plan as well is going to just enhance that. I don't think there's much more to say about it. But everyone, everyone knows that, like she said, that Plank Road stop at Ford creates a lot of congestion and heartache and trouble for people in the morning and right in the evening. And so if you can be able to cross over real smooth to the next over to
but now what I'm saying, 4th Street is going to be going farther.
We're going to take a call, y'all. We're going to call her come in.
They're going to go over.
All right, caller. You're here on the special segment.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, caller? You got a question?
Hello.
Caller, can you hear me? All right, we lost him. There we go. But, and I can feel y'all passionate about this tax, right? Just all three of y'all. How baby you say all threes of me. Yeah. I can feel your passion. Let me try this again here. All right, caller, you're in the special segment. All right, so she got to get her phone worked out. But until then, there was a couple things we want to share here, and there's some you brought up earlier I wanted to touch on. I don't know if people caught it, but you say this was unanimously supported by the city council?
Well, we had a couple of dissenting votes, but it was a 10-2 vote. It was a very broad cross section of support from the Metro Council, and I would add we've seen a broad cross section of support from our community too. We've had business groups come out in support of this. We had the Greater Baton Rouge AFL-CIO come out in support of it. We've had different organizations that have stepped up and said, this is the time in Baton Rouge to do this.
I'll say, so you said 10-2, right?
Yeah.
You know what they call that?
What's that?
Bipartisan support. Got it. I'll tell you, man.
Amen to that.
Bipartisan support. I'm going to vote for it just because of that. I'll tell you what. We want to do this real quick. Let me see if she got this phone worked out yet. All right. Caller, you're on a special segment. Yeah, she must not have it worked out. But, call back. We're going to be here again next Tuesday. You have your questions, go to Eugene, whether it's from Collins on Facebook. Leave your questions in the feed. And I know these three folks, they'll be there to answer any of your questions. And we got some feeds out there. So real quick, about 10 seconds each, what do you want the people to know about this tax? If you just had to speak as Councilwoman Erika Green, what do you want the folks to know?
I'm talking to my generation, right?
Yeah.
One, I want them to know, I want them to know that people with young kids, people that have jobs, that have homes, that are concerned about that, this property increasing and things like that. You have to invest in your community. Mm-hmm. This is an investment that, your parents did a couple years back, a decade ago. It's time for us to give back to Baton Rouge, and this is the way that we can do it. Everyone talks about they want to be involved in parish issues, but this is one that they can do very simply by going to vote in December.
All right, Mr. Rowdy.
I'll hit just some specific details. I think I've already touched on the quality of life aspect, but December 8th, I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts of it. December 8th, this is on the ballot. East Baton Rouge Parish voters are asked to go out and please support it. This will be a 30-year sales tax, and what I would highlight is under this sales tax, we've got groceries, prescription drugs, and utilities being exempt from this. So we get a lot of questions about, well, I'm on a fixed income, how does that impact me? Your basic essentials, again, your groceries, prescription drugs, utilities would be exempt from it.
Yes, I want to talk about the possibility of small businesses being able to be a part of this. Since the mayor has been in office, not only has she championed a disparity study, but also has had multiple meetings as it relates to equitable opportunities and people being able to do business in city government. So as a result of this, I think part of the plan, once and we're going to say that it's going to pass, is talk about all the other jobs that go along. Not just the concrete and the wire, but I mean, whether it's catering, any kind of businesses that are small business, they need the help, they need to be a part of this. And that is something that I could say that I'm sure me and my colleague will absolutely stay on to make sure that equitable opportunities as it relates to contracts in this job are available for people, minority businesses, women in businesses, because that is really the backbone of what it takes for our community to move. So we're gonna have the infrastructure, and then we need to make sure that everybody is included.
All right, so folks, y'all just got all of the information you needed right here from the experts. Councilwoman Erika Green, Mr. Gaudet, as well as Councilwoman Chauna Banks. They were here to give you all the information. So now I need y'all to remember to vote yes on December 8th. And tell them what they're voting for, Rowdy.
And the early election begins Saturday.
Thank you. Yes. Early voting begins the 24th of November, goes through December 1st, goes through Saturday, December 1st. $1 billion infrastructure traffic improvement plan. We're asking voters to get out and support it. We need this in Baton Rouge.
All right, and what it looks like on the ballot.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So on your ballot, you got a Secretary of State's runoff. Some people will have a City Constable runoff, and then the very first, it's called Consolidated District is how it's titled on the ballot.
Gotcha.
And it's the only proposition, correct?
There's another one. There's a mental health tax.
Okay, that's right.
All right. Caller, you have a special segment.
Yes, hi. Maida McDonald calling. How are you guys
Hello,
doing
Ms.
today?
McDonald. I'm glad you finally got through here, Mr. McDonald.
Okay, yes indeed. I'm hearing everything that you guys are talking about, and I am so very happy that we as one are coming together, and we must stand together, and we must do whatever needs to be done to make a difference in this country. Because of what we see going on White Hill, thank you, Jesus, that we got out and we voted, and the Democrats now have control over Congress. So if we do not get out and take charge of what is ours, as our forefathers, sisters have fought hard for us, like Michelle Obama says, we vote, we win.
That's right.
There you go, Mr. McDonald. Thank you for calling in. I'm glad she got through there and everybody know what was going on.
Yes.
But remember, vote yes on December 8th. And what is the early voting?
Early voting starts Saturday, November 24th, runs through Saturday, December the 1st.
And just for my dad, if he's listening, because he don't hear it the first time, what are you looking for on that ballot?
It's called Consolidated District. I should pull up the specific language, but it's the first item on your ballot.
The first
were
item
good
on
with
your
that.
ballot. You gonna stick with that? You want to stick with that for my daddy. The first item on the ballot, we gonna vote yes December 8th. Early voting December 24th. Get out. This just makes sense.
Capital Improvements District. Let me correct myself. It's Capital Improvements District on your ballot.
There you go. The first thing on your ballot, right? All right. So all the folks will get out there and vote yes. And I want to thank Councilwoman Chauna Banks, Mr. Rowdy Gaudet. Am I saying your name right, Rowdy?
You saying it just fine. And I'm going to give you an amen for that.
Go ahead. You keep hanging around black people. I want to thank Councilwoman Erika Green in the house today, man. This was a good show. I know we got
Thank
some
you for
folks
having
coming
us.
back again, so look forward to this, and this is going to be a fun 3 weeks discussing this tax.
Cool.
All right, now, listeners, y'all been a part of this 15-minute segment. I hope y'all had as much fun as I did. We will talk to y'all next Tuesday.